Well, welcome everybody. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I remember in middle school when you felt self-conscious if you were the last one to go through puberty. That really went topsy-turvy, didn't it?
Sometimes the Hasbara, it's too much explaining yourself and it's too apologetic.
Be sure to hit the notifications bell.
I actually do believe Israel won't just bomb countless civilians.
Be sure to tweet this out. Be sure to put this up on your Facebook.
You have to be kind to people. Be kind to the guys in the first place.
Put this up on your Reddit.
Chile is a country.
Be sure to cut and paste, a link to this to go into your favorite Facebook chat group.
It's good to see so many normal people in here.
Now, spanking isn't just my deep, dark personal secret. It's America's deep, dark secret.
I've never seen it explained so simply anywhere.
Put this on WhatsApp. Put this on Telegram. Put this on your favorite messenger app.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel. I'm your host and Untitled Anarchist Seagull, called Elise. Hey Emily S., good to see you again. Good to see you in time to actually see me and stuff. Hello again, Riveroon. I did end up making soup. It was lovely. It was a tomato-based soup with celery, carrots, yellow onions, some red peppers, and a whole bunch of tomato puree and hot paprika, which was served over conchiglie rigate and a whole lot of Parmigiano Reggiano, and it was exactly what was needed. You made me hungry with all of that soup talk, so it was good. I have a little short to start out with. This was just something very funny that I found, that showed up in my recommendations today, and I thought, wait, we have to look at this. Somebody has done, in Arabic with English subtitles, a Pinky and the Brain parody called Gallant and the Bibi, as in Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. And yeah, it was good. I didn't usually put like bell peppers in my soup. Mostly I just do like potatoes, celery, onions, carrots and stuff. But the red pepper really gave it a nice little flavor to it. I mean, I checked this out. It's a short thing. It is quite funny. So I think we're gonna look at that first. And let me make sure that you can actually see the English subs on this thing, because it is in Arabic, but there are English subs. So, okay, on the top left, the subs don't cover this, so that says Janub Lubnan or South Lebanon. That music, if you haven't been watching videos from the Resistance, that is the music Hezbollah uses in all of the videos of their operations.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, sorry, these are Arabic subtitles. There are English subtitles. Okay, here we go. Let me just see. Can we see those? Can everybody read those?
وصلنا على المكان.
برافو شلومو. يلا
دي هذه النسكافيه. رخ علي شيء.
لا تعال اقعد. هلا وصلوا على البناية.
طيب.
If you don't know Arabic, which I mean I mostly don't, but he's doing Arabic with an Israeli accent.
تصوروا يطلعوا شو ناطرين؟
ما كنت عملوا يتصوروا وانت دخلت علينا.
شو الأوامر سيدنا؟ قالوا يتصوروا.
برافو يا بطل. يلا تصوروا سيلفي على السريع.
بس في صوت موسيقى غريبة.
The strange music.
هذا شيء طبيعي. خلص يتصوروا وينسخبوا.
بخكي اسكت انت. شلومو ما تهتم. هيدي موسيقى انتصار.
It's the sound of victory.
يلا تصوروا وانسخبوا.
بس أنا قلبي مش مطمن.
يا خيي ما تهتم. قوي قلبك. صورة انسخاب. صورة انسخاب. خلصني بقى.
خادر.
جاهزين شباب؟ قولوا خزبلة. كتير خاطر سكر.
واخد الله يا سلمي. قبل شوي جبت لك اياها بلا سكر قلت لي مر.
يعني انت يا بتجيبها خلوة بتعمل لي السكر او بتجيبها مغرة مثل ايه يا بطل بعتت الصورة.
These are good subs too. Somebody actually put some effort into them. It isn't just machine generated crap.
الصوت مش
في صريخ كتير. الصوت مش واضح بالمرة.
قلت خلاص. شلومو الكونكشن عم يتقطع.
لك وصل لك رسالة من شلومو.
شفت وصل صخبي من شلومو. العمى كيف مشقفين تشقيف.
بده يكون خزبلة صفاء صاروخ.
أولك صفاء صاروخ. مش على أساس قلت لنا خزبلة هربوا والعملية المغرية ممتاز.
ما بعرف. لك
They do keep saying that.
يمكن من الكونكشن طالع مقطع.
لك ما تاخدها بشكل شخصي. بس أنت حمار. صدق اللي قال عنك حبيبي.
عفوا. طيب ماذا نفعل الآن يا بيبي؟
مثل ما نفعل دائما قلمت. نحاول القضاء على العالم.
وبيبي جاءت وبيبي الأول هريب والآخر غريب بعزم يمضيان إلى فنا الكيان هبيبي هبيبي والغبي بي 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 بي.
Here, I'm gonna drop the link in here. This is the creator's name. I've never heard of this guy, but I'm very interested in him now after seeing that. His name is Muhammad Ali Fuani, and here's the video. Here, let me just link. Here's his channel. I just saw that and it's like I had to share that with you. Is like to come up with the idea of doing a parody of a 90s cartoon with Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant. Like, I mean, you really have to. That is not an idea that I would have thought of, and I'm gonna have to actually like figure out what the lyrics to that are, because my Arabic isn't that good. But yeah, it looks like there might be more of them. That showed up in my Rex today, like this afternoon, right before I was gonna start doing the language stream, and it's like, okay, we gotta check that out. That's it was just too good. So there we go. Okay, we've got some Weedlord, we've got some Caleb, who is explaining why McDonald's was a great moment for Trump, and he needs 3 hours, 52 minutes, and 12 seconds to explain that. Yeah, me too. My sister absolutely loved it. We've also got an 8-hour stream by Caleb called What Are We Doing Exactly? And it sounds, I mean, if it took him 8 hours to work that out, I have a feeling that maybe he doesn't know. We've got Weedlord, and for people who are, I remember somebody was saying, who's Weedlord? Okay, here's the lore. Weedlord, aka Adam Krigler, was Tim Pool's pet Nazi hippie gerbil. He used to be on the show with Tim, and his role was mostly to sort of nod along and be told to shut up by Tim anytime he started talking about something that he thought of or that was, like, interested him. Like, he's very big into the moon. He's also a reactionary shithead. Although you get the impression sometimes watching him that has a lot to do with just the crowd he's ended up with, and that he has not actually given any of this any kind of thought. And, like, there's a stream where that he did where he was doing what he called a deep dive in Karl Marx. But the deep dive was he read the Encyclopedia Britannica article on Karl Marx. That was the deep dive. And he was, like, surprised by every other sentence. So, I don't know. But, I mean, so he and Tim Pool ended up getting into some shit over, like, funding or something like that. And so they went their separate ways, though in the same, like, creepy-ass compound. So that's who Weedlord is. Weedlord is the name that Thought Slime and Lance from the Surfs came up with to call him, because it just really fit. Because back in the day, he used to have, like, this really long hair and this beard, and he just always looked very mellow and laid back. So yeah, you know, Weedlord, because he's a shitlord who looks like he smokes a lot of weed. So we've got the leftist meltdown is hilarious, and the left wants manga labeled in public. Those are all both Weedlord. We've got AOC allegedly getting real about the Democratic Party, which I'll believe it when I see it. Let's see. There's also, we started one, like, last week where Weedlord was looking into what Project 2025 was, and revealed that apparently, and I think this is legit, I don't think he was faking this, that he really did not know what the Heritage Foundation was. I think he legit did not know. The way that he called it the Heritage, and he's like, oh, Foundation, the Heritage Foundation. It's like, yeah, somehow, how he's been in their orbit this long and somehow managed not to be aware of them is kind of weird, but okay. But anyway, so, I mean, I'm in a Weedlord state of mind, I think. And I think we'll start out with some Weedlord. Haven't done much Weedlord on here, and I've liked what we have seen. So here we go. The leftist meltdown is hilarious.
Y'all wanna violate my stuff? I don't think about none of that, because all the people that's violating my freaking live right now are Trump.
Oh well, yeah, this really is hilarious, Weedlord. It's really hilarious that, like, women are feeling violated by the fact that these, like, scumbags who decided are going to get a chance to do the shit that they want. That's hilarious. Like,
Trump supporters.
You gonna violate me right now? All you Trump supporters?
Y'all the only ones happy about it right now.
Yeah, they are the only ones happy. And the thing is, they're not. In fact, there many of them. What you never hear, like, in, like, mainstream election coverage, you never hear the figures that take into account abstention. They'll give you they'll give you what you could call the gross numbers that do not take into account the percentage of eligible voters you're talking about. The net figures where they take that into account show actually way more people didn't vote for Trump than did. And way more people also didn't vote for Harris than did. And this is not a new pattern. Like, way more people didn't vote for Biden than did, etc., 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 etc. Going back decades.
That's because you're delusional.
I mean, we already are, like, in a shit situation and living in a police state. So I mean that's the thing. That's the thing about, like, basing an entire campaign on hypothetical horrors when you're already when a lot of them are already in existence. Like, for most people, this is not a great economy. Like, I mean, and that's one of the most insulting things that, like, the Democrats did is, like, pretend, you know, people that had this tiny little uptick after, like, literally decades of stagnation and decline, tiny little uptake in their, like, real income. I don't even think it was taking into account specifically non-managerial real income, though I'm not entirely certain about that, so don't quote me. But, you know, after all this fucking decline is like, people are doing great right now. It's like, no. It's like a fucking drop in the bucket.
And you don't understand that it's going to be beneficial for you and that question mark of a nose ring you've got.
Y'all see, I got my
Well, how the hell is it going to be beneficial? Like, maybe you should tell her, maybe you should address the specific thing that she's talking about.
I had to cry so
Man, smug
much that
Weedlord is not a good look.
my blue one, but I have to wear red because it's my freaking car.
You gotta be bored.
See, and I will say, I mean, I'm personally, like, quite always have been a bit annoyed about the fact that red and blue have been distributed in the way they have. Because when I see red winning on a map, it's like, my instinct is to be happy about that.
Forced to wear red.
But I didn't have to wear this stupid ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it just keeps getting worse. I mean, each president has been better than the next. That has been the pattern. We are in an age of managed decline that goes back to basically the mid 1970s. Like, the last time non-managerial real wages had a significant uptick was 73. Since then, they've been stagnating and declining. Nothing that happened in the past 4 years has actually changed that overall trend. We have a fucking minimum wage, $7.25 minimum wage, when the prices have gone through the roof on everything, and we're supposed to be happy because inflation has slowed down. So yeah, it's going to be worse. Everything's going, it's going to be worse until we actually, like, get together, properly, organize and fight to stop this shit. That's the only thing, that is the only break on it that there is. But, I mean, it's like, the idea that it is good now.
Color, I wouldn't be wearing it.
It's ruined red for them. The color red is now deemed offensive, I guess.
Well, I mean, you motherfuckers probably would not be happy about a red... You guys get really offended, in fact, when people wave red flags around. So maybe you're not one to talk.
Trust and believe me.
God, look at him fake laughing too.
Why do they always have the nose ring?
Because it's a popular thing. Like, what decade did you just come here from that you didn't notice that nose rings are a thing?
What is up with this... The bullhorn or the bull ring? I don't get it. I do have to keep.
Yeah, well, we'll add that to the list of things Weedlord does not get.
Because of that music, I didn't realize there was music on this super.
Treat to go get my medication because I'm out and I need it for today. Then I saw a woman walking her 2 kids, and she had this look on her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, we both kind of nodded.
Yeah, isn't this hilarious, Weedlord?
Like we were both
just a normal situation. No, just a normal situation. Okay, the 4B movement that she mentions is a reactionary TERF movement. Like, trans women get violently kicked out of 4B movement. As you see this tweet here, we need to start considering the 4B movement like the women in South Korea and give America a severely sharp birth rate decline. The 4B movement is massively anti-trans. So, yeah.
Ladies, we need to start considering the 4B movement like the women in South Korea and give America a severely sharp birth rate decline. No marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, no sex with men. We can't let these men have the last laugh. We need to bite back.
I mean, I don't think that's even a particularly useful way to fight back. That comes up every once in a while. You hear this idea, like, let's do a Lysistrata, as if, like, the only people getting anything out of, like, hetero sex were the men. It's like, that can't, I mean, that's often the case. I'm sure, like, I mean, I don't imagine that Weedlord has witnessed many orgasms other than his own, for example. But I mean, it's based on all sorts of nonsense. It's not a great idea. It would not work.
Oh my goodness. So,
and the guys that you'd actually have to worry about are not like guys who are known for being great with consent.
I'm again, ultimate win. This also means that the leftist women that are anti-abortion, that are for this, aren't gonna be procreating.
The leftist women that are anti-abortion, like, what? What the fuck did he just say?
Granted, I guess they really aren't anyway, because they're killing the babies before they're born.
The leftist anti-abortion women are.
But regardless, right? They're not.
This is the guy he used to like posture and pretend he was pro-choice. Listen to him now.
Distracting men. They're taking themselves out of the gene pool. Are you guys getting sick of winning? I mean, wow. It feels like a natural healing process is happening, and they don't even realize it.
Wait. Okay, yeah, that's right. It feels like a natural healing process, Weedlord. It will go with that.
Like, they think that this is gonna, damn the man. This is gonna...
I mean, yeah, I don't think that it would. There's that, but it's like...
this is gonna really show them we're gonna be responsible about our hoo-has, and...
What?
And... Oh, what's that? That's what they...
Yeah, see, I mean, maybe, okay, admittedly, I'm fairly certain Weedlord lacks the experience to know this, but last I checked, sex often involves at least a second person.
Been fighting for it? That's what they want? Oh. Yeah.
Kids watching for the first time election results, they should know that we...
Also, we haven't actually... I mean, this is one of the things that I find hilarious, is that the definition of leftist that these chuds use...
had bomb threats before Donald Trump became president.
Oh my god! If there's any little kids watching, you need to know, we have never had bomb threats before Donald Trump came around. What was...
Wait a second.
You need to know.
I actually didn't hear what he said.
If they're...
Hang on a second. Is that kind of
watching for the first time election results, they should know that we never had bomb threats before Donald Trump became...
Oh, he means like bomb threats at polling places. Although, I will say, in Ohio in 2004, part of the chain of events that led Ohio to be called for Bush that year, in Warren County, the Warren County Board of Elections kicked the press and the independent observers out of the vote count, claiming the FBI had told them that there was a terrorism warning directed at the Warren County Board of Elections. No, there wasn't. Like, what the Warren County Board of... I've been there. There's no reason. Nobody gives a fuck. It's Warren County. Like, there's nothing... There's fuck all. Like, nobody's gonna do that. And so the press actually did their job, and they called the FBI, said, what's up with this terror warning at the Warren County Board of Elections? And the FBI said, this is the first we're hearing of it. So not exactly the first time.
Oh my god! If there's any little kids watching.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what he was saying was that there are some people who might not be old enough to remember a whole lot of elections.
You need to know, we have never had bomb threats before Donald Trump came around. What was that? What a bold-faced lie. Whole bold-faced lie.
And no, you had it right the first time, Weedlord.
And bald. I changed it to bald. It was a joke because of... But I anyway.
No, it was because you didn't know which one it was, and that's okay. People don't know that. People get that one wrong all the time, actually. But you don't have to cover up for it. This is the effect of having been, used as Tim Pool's fucking Nazi hippie gerbil for several years, and just constantly being subjected to a barrage of shut up Weedlord, that he feels a need to justify that.
You voted for a racist, a rapist, a dictator. You voted for a bully, a bigot, and a narcissist. You voted...
Well, yeah, I mean, so far, not wrong. I mean, I haven't seen any leftists yet. Still waiting for some leftists in this leftist meltdown.
For someone who said he would have no problem using the military to kill his opponent. You voted...
Whoa. The Biden administration just passed that. 2 weeks ago. What do you
Passed what?
That was the Biden administration.
Passed what?
Kamala Harris was a part of. What?
Passed what? They passed what 2 weeks ago? I mean, yes, it's not the first time that the U.S. military has been used against, suspected political dissidents in the U.S. George W. Bush actually did that with various people, in particular Jose Padilla. So not a novel thing, and there was language in the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, 10, 11 years ago, that also was very, very dodgy in that regard. But
sorry, the first 6 are, it's just boring. We've been there, but that
I don't think they've been radicalized to the far right by false information. First of all, guys like Weedlord are making money hand over fist, in the far right, cinematic universe. There is tons of money. That is why you will actually see people, move right when they start to, when there's some money, when there's real money coming at them, creators sometimes. Because that's where the fucking money is. But a lot of these guys, they're not being radicalized by false information. They're being radicalized by perceived self-interest. Because they see any kind of movement towards equality, any kind of movement towards somehow, that actually gives people other than them power, and it scares them because it means they will have less. There are material reasons way beyond just inaccurate information that lead these guys to go there. And that's particularly true of their influencers like Weedlord or Pin Tool or fucking Twat Mulch. Hey, bonsoir. They make tons of money doing it. That's a big part of why they do it. There's so much money if you're gonna grift for the fash.
Trump said that he was going to use the military against the citizens?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
No. That was literally the Biden administration who just did that.
What are you even talking about? I feel like I would have chat. Do you have any idea what he's referring to in the past couple of weeks? I mean, not a defender of the genocidal rapist fuck that is the Biden administration. Not at all. But I don't remember this, and I feel like in the circles I run in, this would have actually been fairly big news.
For mass deportation of people.
Illegal immigrants.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? First of all, there's no such thing. Who gives a fuck? Why do you care? Why does anyone give a fuck whether somebody has legal status or not. There's literally no reason anyone should give a fuck about that.
Mass deportation of illegal immigrants.
Yeah, that's bad. We understood that. That's still bad. Because, like, people who aren't fucking ghouls don't think that that's a good thing to do to people.
You know, the ones that are killing American citizens and...
you mean, wait, what?
Taking their jobs and...
Like, okay, trying to process that one. Because I have a feeling that if you kill somebody, they don't really care about their job anymore. Like, at that point, their job's kind of up for grabs anyway, so... Like, it's, I mean, what's the idea? Fuck, I've just been murdered, but even worse than that, I'm unemployed now, too. I gotta update my fucking LinkedIn and I'm dead. Like...
And probably wanting to rape you, of all. I mean, you might have...
Like, what?
Actually...
You were just laughing about the idea of, like... You were just laughing about that just a minute ago. You seemed to actually be kind of cool with that in the first video that you were like fake laughing at there. So, which is it? Is that something that you find amusing, or something that you don't find? Like, what? Make up your mind. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Some of us have no trouble with that one.
That might increase your chances.
Including people that are here legally. If you think you vote...
That's not true.
Oh, well, I mean, it is. And the thing about this, a lot of people do not know just how fucking Kafkaesque U.S. immigration law is. Like, I've studied comparative immigration law. I studied the immigration systems of, like, U.S., to some extent Canada, Chile, Argentina, Germany, Japan, Britain, a few other places. And I can tell you, like, nobody has a more fucking Byzantine, Kafkaesque immigration system than the U.S. It is so easy to fall off status without even knowing it. Like, I mean, when the universities started kicking out, like, anti-genocide protesters, suspending them and stuff, that's enough to lose your legal status. That is enough to... Because if you're on a student visa and you get, like, suspended or kicked out or even put on academic probation, potentially, that is an event that triggers the loss of your legal status. And that's an example of something that you would know about. Sometimes it's shit you aren't even aware of, because it isn't something that directly happened to you, it's something that happened to somebody else, and the result of that is that certain factual predicates for your legal status changed, and the only way you find out about that shit is because ICE knocks on your door. Like, I mean, immigration law in this country is so fucking complicated and unpredictable that an immigration law interview with an immigration lawyer is a ridiculously detailed affair. And it's not exactly uncommon that somebody who is in there trying to get their immigration situation worked out will find out over the course of the interview that maybe they were a U.S. citizen all along and they never knew it. Because that's a thing that happens too. I mean, that's... So, like, acting like there's, like, this bright line where there's, like, illegal on one side and legal on the other side and everybody knows where they are, that's not how that fucking works. And aside from that, who gives a fuck? Why do you care if they're on legal status or not? Like, you don't even know what the... like, factual predicates for legal status in the U.S. even are. So, how do you even know you give a shit about it? The only reason you give a shit about it is because it gives you an excuse to be racist.
No.
For someone who's going to somehow give you more money and put more money in your pocket, you were tricked. None of his concepts of economic plans will ever benefit anyone who isn't a millionaire or billionaire.
I mean, that is just a general truth of the U.S. political class. It's worth noting. They all primarily benefit, you know, anyone other than millionaires and billionaires who benefit from their, like, economic ideas, the entire political class, are benefiting totally incidentally and to a degree that they will often not even notice.
I wonder how long it took her to write this all out. Because you see her, she's flashing her eyes to the right. She's holding her phone or holding a piece of paper or something and reading it out to us.
Yeah, wow, that's so fucked up. She actually wrote a thing.
Yikes.
Like, I mean, so what's the yikes? That she wrote it or that she reads? Because Weedlord doesn't.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep.
Scared to go to sleep?
I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
What? Yeah, wow, yeah, I know, it's so fucking funny. Like, yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, people are legit losing their shit over this because it is legit bad, actually, for a whole lot of people. The thing about this election, what sucks about this election, is that it was all bad. It was all bad. And the reason we have this, to a great extent, is because the Democrats just insisted on, like, not swerving from the genocide line. Like, a bunch of genocidal fucks decided to throw the election with that. And so we get these assholes. Yeah, like, of course people are freaking out about that. Like, but he thinks it's funny. Well, I mean, although I've seen better fake laughing than this, but he's pretending to think it's funny, which tells you a lot about his audience, that they would want to see him laughing at, like, almost exclusively women who are scared as shit about what this is going to mean for them. Like, wow, what an asshole.
Did she just say she's worried she's gonna wake up a slave?
Yeah, I know, isn't that fucking hilarious? Wow, you're just such a connoisseur of comedy, Weedlord. Yeah, people are freaking out.
Holy shit.
I mean, that seems, and there are people who are, like, actually deliberately stoking, like, reactionaries who've come out who are gloating and saying shit like this, okay? There are reactionaries who are, like, outright stoking this. That cunt Nick Fuentes, for example, who was like posting "your body, my choice" and all this sort of shit. Like, Nazis are doing the thing where they gloat and they hope that we don't remember that they spent 2016 to 2020 running away, screaming, and crying about how scary and mean leftists are. And yeah, so people are seeing that shit, and it's freaking them out, and of course it fucking is, but no, you do you, Weedlord. It's funny. Somehow it's funny to Weedlord. Man, I want to kick this guy in the nuts.
These people are delusional. I have to hear that again. She didn't say that, did she?
Concepts of economic plans will ever benefit anyone who is in
I like her glasses. I actually have a pair very similar to them.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
She does? She's bawling?
Yeah, isn't that funny? Wow, you're a wonderful guy, Weedlord. Like, maybe, like, even if, like, wow, you suck. He's like, I take away, like, every single little tiny benefit of the doubt I ever gave this jabroni. This is fucked up. This is, like, the worst thing I've ever seen him do.
Does she think she's gonna be a slave?
That's what she said, isn't it, you dickhead? And maybe she doesn't think that literally. Maybe she means that more metaphorically. I don't know her. But, there's a reason that, like, people who are not like you are actually seriously worried about the outcome here. And that a lot of us were actually worried about the outcome whichever way it went, because it was going to be horrible either way.
They really think this?
I mean, maybe he's
insane.
Like, there are motherfuckers actually sending out, there's this, like, copy pasta that it, like, the Fash cinematic universe, like, happened upon, that is specifically, like, saying, yeah, attention black people, report to slavery tomorrow, or some like shit like that. It's a little bit longer than that, but that's the gist of it. Like, the people who watch his fucking show are specifically, like, going after people online in order to stoke these fears because they're fucking coming in their pants over it. That's his fucking target audience. Oh, good to hear Momo Dutal won it.
Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters?
Because they're shit people. And one thing that's worth noting, there was an interesting poll end of last year where they asked both Biden supporters and Trump supporters what their approval rating, what their likelihood of voting for Trump or Biden or a generic member of the Republican or Democratic Party was. And in both cases, generic Republican and generic Democrat did significantly better than either Biden or Trump. Like this motherfucker is actually quite unpopular. People don't understand. People who don't look at abstention rates and don't look at the polls other than the ones that say likelihood to vote, which are polls of registered voters only, don't realize that. They actually don't realize that you can be extremely unpopular and still win a U.S. election, because the whole way it works is somebody's got to win no matter what. There's no quorum. If there was a quorum, a lot of these elections would have had to be done over. If you treated presidential elections the way strike ballots are treated in a lot of places, then you wouldn't have a quorum for the election. It would have to be done over. And on the other side, dickheads like Weedlord here, or Pim Tool, or Twat Mulch, all convince themselves that just because their dickhead won an election that was boycotted by a little over a third of the population, a third of the eligible voters anyway, that means that everybody likes him. And it's no, that's not gonna last long, because nobody liked him. Hardly anybody likes that jabroni.
That was pure emotional.
Yeah. Now, okay, don't stop there. That's great. Let's keep going with that analysis, Weedlord. Which emotion do you think you were seeing there?
Pure raw emotions.
It was somebody being real about how you should try it sometime, Weedlord. It's good for you. I mean, you might lose some of your fucking audience because your audience is full of sucklords. But, maybe try it. I low-key thought that was Bisan Oda for a second.
A dash of delusion. And I'm shocked. Where did that come from?
Wow, I wonder why somebody would react to a whole bunch of white supremacists, winning a major national election that way. Why that would lead them to say things like that? I wonder. Maybe instead of laughing at it performatively, Weedlord, maybe you could investigate. Like you did when you read the Encyclopedia Britannica article on Karl Marx and you were surprised by every other sentence. Maybe you would be surprised by that too, because maybe there's a history of this stuff.
Where did slavery being reintroduced come? I haven't even heard that. Is that a thing?
Hello, Tyrone from the 424.
Is America re-implementing slavery?
Well, I mean, to a certain extent, the U.S. never actually got rid of it. They just moved it into the prison system for the most part. And, of course, Harris was a big proponent of that. She actually had this thing. She went to court to stop a plan to release people with nonviolent convictions who had served at least half of their sentence in order to reduce the massive overcrowding of California prisons. And her argument in court was it would deprive the state of slave labor.
Did I miss something? I've seen a lot of Trump rallies, and I could have missed something.
Well, maybe it's spam, maybe it's a typo. You can enlighten us, Tyrone from the 424. Wait, okay, this is beginning to look a little bit more spamical. Hang on, I gotta get to my, Oh, that's why. I'm looking at the wrong... was looking at Twitch. Gotta get to my, Oh, wow, I see. I see what you see. If you look at the fucking... Sorry about that. If you look at the restream... yeah. Report. Spam. Hide user on my channel. Buy there. Oh, yeah, Restream only show... If you look at the Restream window, it only shows them doing this once. Report, spam. And hide user on my channel. Sorry about that. Like, on Restream, which is the chat window I look at it actually only showed those messages once. Sorry about that. Hopefully that should take care of it. I have blocked these users. Okay. Hopefully that will sort that out. Sorry about that. I've never actually really had spam. It's always on Twitch when this happens.
I don't know. No? Okay.
Thanks for letting me
I
know,
didn't
chat.
think so.
Sorry about that.
How am I supposed to go to work and do all of my normal daily activities
when I know that I can't have promiscuous sex and...
Well, like, why? Just because you don't get laid, Weedlord, doesn't mean that isn't something that a lot of people enjoy and have every right to enjoy. And let me just say, if you're, like, sitting here thinking... I bet there are a lot of people thinking, how can I go to work knowing this? Here's an idea. What if all of us don't? And then just, like, indefinitely don't, and let the economy and the rich people catch up to the fact that we're not making them money. And then maybe we could just take the shit over, and then you wouldn't have to deal with this bullshit.
Use abortion as contraceptive.
That's not what she said. She didn't say anything like that. Also, that's just... Shut the fuck up, Weedlord.
Oh, my life.
This fucking
I
guy.
have to be responsible.
I know that we all just chose for things to get exponentially harder.
Which, like, literally, he just made up all of that, of course. She didn't say any of that. No.
Far right. She had nothing to say.
Well, that's because it's a clip. You're looking at a fucking compilation that a bunch of chuds like you put together. So maybe she did have something to say, Weedlord. Maybe you should look her up and find out what she had to say. Maybe it would be interesting. Maybe it would fucking surprise you.
That was the worst acting.
Shit. More of this crap. Sorry about this. Fucking hell. There we are. Sorry about that. This is the first time... I've not had this happen ever before on YouTube.
That was the worst acting I've seen of all these women. That was horrible. She didn't even... She's like, I need to put out a video.
Yeah. He thinks that just because they only clipped that bit, that's all that was in the video?
I'm not really that upset because I don't understand how anything's gonna change. But I watched a few videos, so I know that, we're supposed to say something along these lines. That will...
Like, he doesn't understand the concept of editing. Okay, anybody on here, would anyone on here like to, Assist me in moderating. Yeah, let's see. Get that. Riveroon, Adrien. Sorry about this. This is like literally, apart from occasional like little single one-off bits of link spam on Twitch, I've never had this happen before. The closest thing I've had to this was
Woman
fucking
had nothing. That was
when Caleb Muppet came onto my stream a long time ago to demand I debate it.
that was weak. Come on. Salt better. Oh well, we got the queen right here. All right.
Okay, add as mod. Save. Okay, I just added you as a mod. Holy shit. And now, like, the spam actually covered up a good question. Let me see. Vote totals 2024 presidential election. What you do as a mod is when somebody does that kind of spam shit, you can click the little 3 dots next to their message, and you can, like, there are various options. Hide user on this channel, for example. We'll see if we get more of this shit. This is like, I've never... this is the first... Somebody's actually, like, specifically... This isn't even, like, random spam. This is somebody fucking trolling the channel.
It's good we've got a good follow-up, at least. I haven't seen this. I don't know what she's about to say.
A dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany.
I should have guessed.
Well, his own, like, fucking vice presidential pick said he thought he might be an American Hitler, so maybe take it up with him? I mean, I don't think that's the case. For one thing, I don't think that Trump is committed to much of anything other than himself. He doesn't particularly give a fuck about anything else. He is much more of an opportunist. But, yeah.
No hesitation. Straight to it. Just... What is this? The Hall of Dictators?
Or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control.
And started killing white people.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, of course, a little bit of neo-Nazi conspiracy propaganda there.
That's literally happening right now.
No, it literally isn't happening right now. That literally was never happening.
People in South Africa are being killed.
No.
And they're hosting big events, talking, like, yelling, kill the white farmers.
No, fucking hell. Okay, that, not yelling, singing. It's a song from the anti-apartheid struggle called Dubula Bunu.
I'm not joking.
No, he's not joking. He's just full of shit.
I was.
Or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today.
It's interesting that they only list people that the U.S. Of course, they only list people the U.S. doesn't like. They're much more despotic rulers right now than, like, the various modern examples. Like, you could mention Nayib Bukele in El Salvador, who elected himself president. Fascist dictator, basically, like, used the military to dissolve the legislature. Absolute piece of shit. The U.S. loves him. Yeah, the U.S. absolutely adores him. Or Javier Milei, who's trying to do the same thing in Argentina, except people are, like, fighting back and not really letting him. U.S. adores him too. Or Dina Balearte, the president of the coup regime in Peru, who just let the U.S. just occupy part of the country now. You could mention her, but the U.S. loves her too. Like, or say, I don't know, the House of Saud in Saudi Arabia.
Presses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator.
Slovenia? I mean, they're still outstanding. Are they not counting them here? What's going on, Vadim?
Do you hear the cope?
Why isn't Philadelphia counting votes?
Wait, who is that? Is that Destiny?
Call him. Do we...
Yeah, it sounds like him. It's got that wonderful nasality. Oh, well, yeah. He does. I mean, he also thinks that fascism is lucrative.
Hold up. Is that Destiny?
It is. But that's Hassan there on the left there.
Is that Destiny right there? Is this?
No, I don't think that's Destiny, but it sounded like they had Destiny, like, playing in the background. But on the left there, I think that's Hassan.
Yeah, contact. Hello, if you're watching the stream right now, you work in Philadelphia.
We'll
put you on stream. I'll call you. I want to know what the fuck. What is going on?
Okay, that was very entertaining.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Riveroon. Thank you. This is wild. I am so sorry about this. Now I just pushed play on the wrong video, and it was the video of me.
All right, I appreciate the cope levels on that one. Pardon me fixing this whole thing.
That wasn't even anything. That was somebody saying, "Why is nobody counting votes in Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, whatever it was?" Who the fuck is, like, trolling my channel? What the hell is that? Thank you, Riveroon, for catching that so quickly. I appreciate that.
To zoom in there and see who that was. Okay, now this woman I think I showed you yesterday.
Would ever even dare bring a child into this country now? It was rough before. Now? No. That's key.
She sounds like she got punched in the nose.
This is a proposition to raise the minimum wage immediately to $17 an hour, then to $18 an hour at the beginning of next year. 49.3% yes, 50.7% no, to raise people's wages. So that's fun.
If we can't win on higher minimum wage, what can we win on?
Well, that actually, see, that's an interesting question, because you have to wonder. It sounds like what probably happened there, and I have not looked at the figures. Oh, Anna Transphobian. I'm surprised he hasn't had her on as a guest. That is the way she's, like, leaning. She's been on with a lot of the other more respectable white nationalists. No, this is not AI. This is literally somebody. This, I mean, when you have a bot doing it, it's pretty clear that it's a bot. This is clearly one person who's decided to be an asshole. And really just wants to be on the VOD so the entire world, or, well, like, at least the very small segment of the world who actually watches my VOD will see that they were an asshole. Like, why the fuck are you trolling somebody who's got, like, 380 subscribers? Yeah, I mean, and I think what happened probably, I mean, turnout was lower. A lot of people were saying that there was going to be record turnout. I did not see that happening, and it didn't. Oh. Fucking hell. Thank you, Riveroon. Conche tu madre, weón. Oh, that's why. Oh fuck! I have to have like my video on in order to watch like my YouTube chat, and I keep clicking the wrong one when I'm trying to start. Okay, where is it? Yeah, I think probably what will have happened there, since turnout was down, and turnout usually tends to be down when it's down amongst working class people, which exaggerates the percentage of, you know, well-to-do reactionaries in the electorate. That's probably what happened. That's why it's so narrow too. That's a pretty narrow result.
Oh my god, the stupidity of these people. Oh, people don't want to raise minimum wage? Oh, wow, what dumbasses.
Wait, do you understand what the minimum wage is for most people?
How about we make the money worth it again? Huh?
Well, that's literally what raising the minimum wage would do, although $17 actually wouldn't be enough. That wouldn't even keep up with inflation.
Remember when people used to get paid in silver quarters? Yeah, the price of those silver quarters.
Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit what they're made of. Like, wow. But I mean, like, it is on brand for Weedlord to be excited about shiny things. I'll give him that. Let's just have a little hand of applause for River Rune for being on top of that.
Are relatively stable if you actually look over the years. Huh. But fiat currency?
Motherfucker, silver's fiat currency too. All fiat currency means is that it is worth something because the state said it's worth something.
Paid by...
That's true.
Numbers?
That's true of all currency. That's what makes it currency. The state says that it can be used to bindingly satisfy debts.
From your bank account? From the Fed? And people are like, nah, we would rather not increase inflation. And they're...
But that doesn't, like, that is not increasing inflation. That is adjusting wages in order to almost actually catch up with inflation.
They're the stupid ones. God, I can't stand
perché sono cojonudo. I mean, maybe they just had all of these set up. Yeah, I mean, somebody is very dedicated to fucking around in my chat.
Stand these people.
I mean, Jesus,
I'll be honest. At least Anna.
It's nice that he's being honest there.
Seems to be coming around.
I see. Did I say it or did I say it? She's gonna be on his show.
Right?
Well, no, probably not. Nobody gives a fuck about Weedlord anymore. The only reason anyone gave a fuck about Weedlord is he was on Pim Tool. He'll probably be on Pim Tool, who apparently blocked Weedlord on Twitter recently.
At least she seems to be coming around a little bit.
Slaughterhouse.
This could break me and my parents apart because they just don't understand what they voted for.
No.
Well, maybe they did understand. Maybe they did understand and they are that shitty.
They know exactly.
Wow, Weedlord knows her parents. Holy shit. That's the problem. TikTok user Sweet Cali Fact, I think that says. Sweet Cali Feats? Something like that. Weedlord knows your parents are hanging out with Weedlord. That's the problem.
What they voted for, girl. You have no idea what you voted for. I'm sure
How the fuck would you know? You don't know anything about... You have no idea about anything, Weedlord.
They say the same thing. They're literally... She's saying it about us right now.
Well, yeah, and every single time that you open your mouth on any subject, you provide further evidence that you do indeed have no idea what the fuck you're talking about with anything.
But for Trump, you don't know what you voted for. Oh my god. You're the downfall of the world. Even though he was first president in decades to not start new wars. And
That's not really saying much because he continued all of the existing ones. Like, I mean, the thing is, the U.S. was already pretty overextended. I mean, think about all of the wars that were going on at the time. I mean, the U.S. was already kind of overextended to begin with. You would have to actually end some of the fucking forever wars in order to start new ones. And that is indeed how that has worked out. He didn't actually, he kept going with all of them. I mean, like, he fucking bombed Syria. He continued to occupy Syria. Syria is still occupied to this day.
create more peace around the planet. And energy independence.
Oh,
in
wow,
America.
a normal link spam.
What about that? Right to try? Legalized a bunch of stuff that should have been legal. Hemp? Like, there's a lot of things that Trump did that's incredible. That's amazing.
He didn't legalize weed.
Ask any of these people what he did that they didn't like. All of it will either be lies or him being mean in tweets.
I mean, like, weed is still illegal at the federal level. Except for Delta 9 THC. Delta 9 THC is legal. Yeah, he assassinated Soleimani. And, like, the Democrats very carefully left that out when they were saying he was not belligerent enough towards Iran. It's like, what else was he going to, like, how much more belligerent would you want him to be? He assassinated Soleimani.
And like what it means and the bigotry and hatred that they stand behind.
He says blah blah blah, stand by, like all based on lies. Oh, this one's
Motherfucker, you're gonna say that the bigotry and hatred don't exist? You've been like echoing it this whole time.
wonderful. This is Cardi B, right?
Some of y'all states be getting hurricanes.
This is why some of y'all states get hurricanes.
Well, yes, climate change, although there is literally nobody in the political class talking about taking even remotely adequate measures to stop that, because it would require shutting down this entire system.
I mean, wow. I don't like Cardi B. I don't listen to her music. But that kind of attitude is disgusting.
Why? Like, I mean, she's just talking about climate change, but we've offended Weedlord's like delicate sensibilities. He was, he was laughing at women who were like traumatized by the fact that, another rapist has gotten in, who like brags about being a rapist, and has like his fan base is full of people who like to also flex the fact that they like to violate women's fucking boundaries and bodies and shit, and he thought that was hilarious. But this disgusts him.
She clearly proved to everyone at the Kamala Harris rally last week that she had 0 brain cells because the teleprompter died, and she suddenly was like, "Oh, I'm just nervous. I don't know what to say. Blah blah blah. How y'all feeling? Blah blah blah." It's like,
well, yeah, because those are extremely scripted events, and you wouldn't, and they really do not want people ad-libbing.
if my teleprompter died, I mean, I speak off the cuff.
Yeah, not very well. Like, we know that you speak off the cuff. Nobody would write this. Nobody would write this.
Right now, I'm speaking off the cuff.
I can tell.
I've never had anything written for my whole show.
I know.
That's written is articles that other people have written that I read out to you and we discuss. It's awesome. But
I don't know about that, but I mean, yeah, I think everybody can tell that you have never like prepared remarks in your fucking life.
I could. I wish I had a teleprompter. It would be amazing. I would probably be much better off. In fact,
I mean, just giving that elementary level of thought to what you say before you say it probably would improve the quality of your stream.
Some people in the industry that do use teleprompters, I'm not going to call them out, but I was a little saddened when I saw that they use teleprompters. I was like, okay.
He didn't understand that people use scripts in YouTube videos. You've been making your living with YouTube videos for how many years, and you didn't know that scripts were a thing? He found out that people use scripts, and it's like he found out Santa Claus isn't real.
Weak sauce.
That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say that I wish that that's why you guys get hurricanes. You know, act of gods come after you.
I think she was talking about fucking climate change, actually. The God punishes you with hurricanes. That's more your fan base, Weedlord.
Because you didn't vote the way I wanted you to. Fuck you, Cardi B.
America failed women.
Okay. Oh gosh, Harry Sisson. I am looking forward to not hearing from this man anymore. And I say man because he's 21. He is a man.
Yeah, wow, like, why are you specifying this?
And he complained that there was a older man that was saying, this grown-ass man is attacking me. And it's like, you're a man. You're 21.
Like, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about at this point.
And
I don't think he does either.
Are paid.
Tonight.
America failed women tonight.
Primarily, Trump has insulted women,
He insulted men too. And the women that he insulted?
Well, yeah, but I mean, the things you might have noticed, like, Weedlord, there was a slight difference between the shitty things he says about men and the shitty things he says about women. You might also notice that it also seems to make a difference about whether they're white or not. What do you, the particular degree of his shittiness?
Rosie O'Donnell, primarily, deserved it.
Them has been found liable in court for assaulting a woman.
Yeah, but that...
What do you mean, yeah, but? What the fuck do you mean, yeah, but?
That was all based on lies from...
well, no, it wasn't based on lies, though. That was the thing. He actually, it ended up, that was actually proved in court. That's why he was found liable for it.
Jean Carroll, who said that rape is sexy. She literally said that. Yeah, I think she lied her ass off. That whole thing was a fucking scam. I'm just saying.
And he took women's reproductive rights away.
I just...
Well, I mean, he hasn't done it yet, but, I mean, the people around him certainly would like to. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess he has. He has. I mean, he put the assholes into the Supreme Court who, voted the way they did on the fucking Dobbs case.
Just
so, yeah, he did.
Wild to me how they push that lie so flippantly.
Where's the lie, Weedlord? I mean, are you a Dobbs denialist? What's this?
That he took women's reproductive rights away. He put a couple judges on the Supreme Court. I will give him that.
Yes, and okay, now take it further. What did those judges do the first chance they got?
But they chose that Roe v. Wade was unconstitutional.
Yeah, he put those judges there for the purpose so that they would do that. That was the idea. That's how that works. Does he think that people have no idea what, candidates for the Supreme Court stand for before they go actually, sit on the court?
Because it should go to the states, and that's what it did. So Trump didn't...
Yeah, and that resulted in a lot of reproductive freedom being taken away in states all over the country. So, yeah, not really working here.
Take away women's reproductive rights. In fact, let's just go a step further. Abortion is not reproductive rights.
Yeah, yes, it fucking is. Then what the fuck do you think reproductive rights are, Weedlord? No, come on. Give us a definition.
No. Not in the slightest.
Really? Okay, what are reproductive rights then?
Isn't. Abortion is selfishness. It's the desire to continue to live for yourself instead of living for...
Well, then what are reproductive rights?
the child that you consider.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's actually gotten worse. Because there was a whole thing where, he was talking about how pro-choice he was a few years ago, but when he was still with Pim Tool, actually. Pim Tool slagged him off for it. And now listen to this motherfucker. Okay, we've got a little bit of time left. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see what else there is. I'm gonna look at Caleb Muppet.
Hey, everybody!
Jesus Christ. I'm used to his video being shit, but listen to this audio.
Hey, so glad to be here with all of you tonight. Should be yet another great late night conversation. So glad that you all are here.
Jesus Christ! This guy always sounds like a junior high vice principal.
Do it.
Token of the American century. I say that the century on which we are entering can be and must be the century of the common man.
A radical redistribution of economic power.
We know that racism is the byproduct of capitalism.
I tell you, I cannot wait until this election is over. I'm calling it for Trump. Trump is going to win, and I'll tell you more about why, but I really wish...
Well, he says that pretending to work at McDonald's was a great moment for Trump. Which, you can understand that, because that was Trump walking in Caleb's footsteps, because Caleb pretended to work in a sandwich shop that apparently insists on remaining nameless.
Burger King was over. I really, really wish it was over, because so many things are on hold right now, right? Everyone's just kind of waiting to see how this goes. So once the election's over, we'll then figure out what comes next. But I wanted to...
That's usually how that works. That's
comment on something that Donald Trump did. And I think this was brilliant and good on a number of levels. And it relates to why I think Donald Trump is going to win. And I really, really want to urge people to... You really got to get over your Trump derangement syndrome, right? There's a lot of things about Trump.
Yeah, of course, he's like a white supremacist, and he hangs out with neo-Nazis, and he's extremely misogynistic and shit, but he once pretended to work in a McDonald's.
That are not great. I don't like what he did during his first term, killing Qasem Soleimani, but Trump is clearly the better candidate in this election. There is no question about that. And
I don't even know how you'd measure that in this election. The level, you would need some sort of fucking... You had one candidate who was, literally genocidal and sucked in a lot of other ways. And then you had, another candidate who's also committed to doing the fucking genocide that Caleb occasionally pretends to care about. And sucks in a bunch of fucking ways. It's
and we will get into that later in the stream, but...
No, his shirt's buttoned right. It fits weirdly. All his clothes fit weirdly.
You are anti-imperialist, and you are for the jobs of working families. Donald Trump is there's a lot you can complain about there. Support for Israel,
and he's now gesturing.
Statements about immigrants. You go down the line. There's plenty to complain about with Trump, but the idea that Donald Trump is somehow worse than Kamala Harris. It's night and day. But we all know Donald Trump, in case you haven't seen it, it was a really strategic thing, is Donald Trump went to McDonald's and briefly worked at a McDonald's.
No, he fucking didn't. He didn't. The McDonald's was closed. It was a scripted event. He didn't do shit. He posed for the cameras.
Hello, everybody. Sir? My first day at McDonald's. I'm looking for a job. Open it up. Keep it tight. We got the salt on it. Never touches the human hand.
Very good.
Nice and full.
Thank you.
Good.
And Catherine, we saw the former president serving up some fries at a Pennsylvania McDonald's. What was the strategy behind all that?
Look,
I mean,
I think the strategy is one that, frankly, is typical Trump. He's trying to cast doubt on the fact that Harris worked at McDonald's. He's long challenged Harris.
oh wait, is that what this was about? Is that what this? I never even heard this.
Stories saying
Who
about
gives a
life
shit?
lessons she learned while working at McDonald's during summer break while she was a student at Howard University.
Wow, just like Caleb, except that apparently she is allowed to actually mention the name of the place she worked.
Has falsely said that McDonald's has come out and said that Harris didn't work there. That's not true.
Yeah, that is a
McDonald's
very
hasn't
good
said
question,
that.
Emily
Of course,
S.
Harris's campaign
Caleb no es
was saying
crédulo.
that this is just
No
a sign
cree
of Trump's
ni la mitad de lo que
desperation as
dice.
the election reaches the final days, Trevor.
Es chanta.
Now you got to love that news reporting there, because McDonald's, the corporation that's all over the world, has not come out and said that. But the ones in the area where Kamala Harris claimed to have worked at McDonald's have confirmed there's no record of her ever working there.
Like, how long would they have kept those records? Because that would have been, like, in the 70s, or, I mean, let me see. She would have been in university in, like, the 80s, early 90s, as I recall. Like, you don't have to keep those records that long. And in fact, I mean, these franchises do change hands. So how the fuck would you know for sure?
There are tax records of these things, and none of them show Kamala Harris having...
Yeah, you don't have to keep those more than 6 years. That's the statute of limitations on that shit. So, I mean, that doesn't mean anything.
Worked at McDonald's.
Also, who
Furthermore,
gives a shit?
Kamala Harris's mother was quoted in the Los Angeles Times talking about how some people didn't realize that Kamala came from a privileged background.
Of course
And that
she did. Like, she's a fucking U.S. politician. They all do. They fucking all do.
This is why Trump is going to win.
Like, Trump did too, motherfucker. You think Harris came from a privileged background? Trump came from a really privileged background.
This is why Donald Trump is going to win. Donald Trump is honest about who he is.
No, he isn't.
Wealthy, millionaire, multi-millionaire. He's honest about it.
It's interesting. Fucking Caleb did a whole video about how it's un-Marxist to say there should not be billionaires. You know, that it's actually totally Marxist to think that there should be, to like stan billionaires. And for some reason he's decided that he is uncomfortable acknowledging that the guy that he backs is a billionaire.
Kamala Harris is completely plastic. And that has come across in all of her interviews. She is just completely plastic. She can't answer questions. She's just completely manufactured.
Well, yeah, as opposed to the great sincerity of fucking Donald Trump. Yeah, well, if he doesn't repeat himself, then he's then he has to have a pregnant pause. Now, as we're wrapping up, first of all, let me just give you the link to the Discord, and unless you're one of these spammer cunts. Now I'm actually like, well, here we go. We'll see. If they are, then we'll kick the motherfuckers out. But anyway, so I want to tell you all about a project that I'm working on that I would very much like support and signal boosting on. I am translating for the first time the works of Inessa Armand, the very first head of the women's section of the Bolshevik Party, into English. Her works were suppressed under Stalin and basically never got translated into English until now, like over 100 years later, and I'm the one doing it. I'm trying to raise $8,500 to do it. I am edging towards halfway there. I still need about another 4,400 odd to do it. And I would appreciate all the support you can give, including signal boosting and things like that. First of all, let me just drop the link to my Patreon where you can read the draft translations of the first 35 of her speeches and essays. En ruso. El original está en ruso. And you can support the project by becoming a patron, or you can make a one-off contribution here, and all support, including signal boosting, is very, very much appreciated. It will help really enrich the English language Marxist canon. At the same time as it will also just help me keep my head above water in what are like shitty times for everybody. So all sorts of good things coming out of that in all directions. Thank you to everyone who joined in. I always love to see you, except for the fucking except for those fucking trolls. Like, why the fuck are you like trolling me of all people? Seriously, fuck off. Thank you so much, Riveroon and Adria, for your assistance with modding. This is the first time that that's ever been an issue, and you made things a lot easier. Thank you for that. And I will be back next Friday at 11:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and I look forward to seeing you there. And then